Hello and welcome to another CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. I am your host tonight, Nick Quaglia, sitting alongside Mike, Molyneaux, and Marv Ezhan. All right, guys. So, big conversation topic this week in the world of the New England Patriots is the big game between the Packers and the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. Not the biggest game of the weekend. We had the Rams, we had the Saints. That's probably seen as the biggest game of the weekend. But the Patriots and Packers, huge game for the Patriots. Kind of a measuring stick. We know the Packers have been very mediocre this year, but regardless, it's up against Aaron Rodgers. So the first conversation topic of the night, we just need some general reaction. Marv, we'll start with you.
General reaction, Nick. I loved what I saw from the Patriots defense. Every week they seem to have improved and gotten better. Yes, the week before they faced the Buffalo Bills, and you expect the Patriots defense to play very well. But going up against Aaron Rodgers and that receiving core, that was going to be a challenge for them, and they stepped up big time. You can look at the fourth quarter. We just had a segment last week when we talked about who we want to have the ball down the stretch, whether it be Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Patriots defense stepped up, held Aaron Rodgers 2 for 7, for only 15 yards in that fourth quarter. They played lights out. The secondary played very well. Shout out to Stephon Gilmore. He had coverage on Devontae Adams half the time. He was thrown to 4 times, let up one pass. I think the defense in total has improved so much and it's gotten so much better. And it's a storyline that's not getting talked about. You have the Rodgers versus Brady. You have Belichick and his scheme and how he used Cordarrelle Patterson. But let's talk about this defense and how good it's improved.
Mike?
Obviously, one of the storylines I'm going to talk about from this game is just the fact that Josh Gordon is fitting in so well with this Patriots offense. Obviously, he came in early on in the season, and yeah, he needed some time to, get the terminology down and understand the playbook and whatnot. And his snaps have slowly increased week by week. And, this is now a couple of weeks where he's either the leading target, getting the most targets out of, the rest of the options that Tom Brady has, or, he's leading the team in receiving yards and whatnot. Josh Gordon has fit in so well next to Tom Brady, and just seems like they're clicking on all cylinders in terms of what they're able to produce on the football field. 10 targets in this game, over 100 yards. He had that touchdown reception where he broke free from the defender and ran about 50 yards to the end zone. It just seems to me like as long as the Patriots continue to have Josh Gordon playing well, Edelman's there as one of Brady's favorite guys, James White, and then fingers crossed that you hopefully get Rob Gronkowski and Sony Michel back sooner rather than later, and they can fit right in as well. You're possibly looking at the best offense in all of football. And I know that's saying a lot with, the Saints out there in the Rams, but, it's Tom Brady, and Tom Brady's playing well, and he has, big name targets that he's throwing the ball to. So this offense is one to be feared with, and they showed that last night against the Packers.
I mean, yeah, it's an absolutely primetime offense. Just look at what they don't have. They were able to put up 31 points on the Green Bay Packers without Rob Gronkowski, without Sony Michel. You've got Cordarrelle Patterson as basically your main running back there. The offense, once they get fully healthy, all they showed to me last night was that they are going to be absolutely lethal. But the most important and most impressive thing to me about last night's game was that front four. That front four, beginning of the season, I was very excited about it. It was talked about between Trey Flowers, between Derek Rivers, who, yeah, he's underperformed a lot this year, the addition of Adrian Claiborne, that front four was going to be feared. And then they kind of showed a little bit at the beginning of the season that, yeah, they're going to be pretty solid, but they fell off. They weren't getting a lot of pressure. Yesterday was a completely different story, and it was the key that Evan Lazar, CLNS Media, kept bringing up all week. Aaron Rodgers has a tough time when he gets put under pressure. He has a really tough time when he gets put under pressure. The numbers that Lazar was putting out were staggering. And that's what they did last night. That was the key to the game. Trey Flowers, already seen as one of the best pass rushers in football when he's healthy. And then Adrian Claiborne, who stepped up last night and looked like the old Adrian Claiborne, because we can admit it, he's been very lukewarm this year for the most part. Last night, he was looking quick, he was looking powerful, and he was pressuring Aaron Rodgers a ton. That was the key to the game. That was the most impressive thing to me. But guys, the conversation leading up all week to Sunday Night Football, it was GOAT versus GOAT. Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady. Are we seriously going to put them in the same conversation? Are we going to say that Aaron Rodgers is in the conversation for greatest of all time? I don't think so. I don't think you can say that. Marv, after last night, what do you think? Can you put Aaron Rodgers up there?
After last night, before last week, last month, a year ago, 2 years from now, no, Aaron Rodgers cannot be in this GOAT conversation. Look, he's an incredible, incredible talent. Great quarterback, great arm. We talked about his dual threat last week. But the man can't stay healthy, one. And he only has one ring to show for it right now. He's 35 years old. Sneakily, he's 35. Unfortunately, Favre took some years away from him. So he's 35 years old right now. And the NFC is a jungle. There's so many good teams out there right now that I don't see him winning multiple championships for him to be in that conversation with Manning, Brady, Montana, and them.
Mike?
Kind of piggybacking off what Marv just said, the fact that the NFC is stacked. The teams over there, whether it be, still an old gunslinger like Drew Brees and the Saints, or whether it be the young up-and-coming guys like Goff and Wentz, I personally feel like Aaron Rodgers maybe has possibly one more Super Bowl appearance in his career. Does he win that? That remains to be, debated. But I just don't feel like Aaron Rodgers will get the rings that can really solidify his place among the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it. I think, where Aaron Rodgers is right now, which is, on the fence of, is he great? How great is he? Whatever the case may be, I think that's where he'll stay. Obviously, his stats will continue to increase as long as he stays on the field and he's healthy. But unless he wins championships, it will never be a true conversation to have. And I personally feel like there's not many championship opportunities left for Aaron Rodgers in his career.
You guys know how sick of this conversation I was all week. It was, I couldn't believe it was even coming up. First, it was Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. Tom Brady beat out Peyton Manning. Then it was Tom Brady, Joe Montana. Tom Brady beat out Joe Montana. Now, just because we need somebody to put in the conversation with Tom Brady, we're going to start talking about Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not taking anything away from him. The guy is one of the best to ever do it. But he's not Tom Brady. He's not Joe Montana. He's not Peyton Manning. He's just not. And I'm also tired of the excuses from last night that I've already seen. Oh, like Aaron Rodgers is battling, his team is just battling a bunch of injuries. It was his offense. He doesn't have the weapons. He had Jimmy Graham, who was healthy, pretty good tight end. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, pretty good tight end, right?
Great guy.
Randall Cobb. I like Randall Cobb. He's pretty good.
I'll take him. Yeah.
I'd make the argument.
Aaron Jones, also a pretty solid running back.
Yeah.
What is this conversation?
Aaron Rodgers has had better offensive weapons throughout his career than Tom Brady has.
Yes. Yes, he has. There was a year where Aaron Dobson and Kendall Tompkins were Brady's best targets.
And he still probably had a better chance of making the Super Bowl over Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has had, we're talking some Hall of Fame guys that have come through that he's got a chance to play with. And Brady, he's had a couple of years where he's had some top guys, and he has a couple of years where he has some guys playing flag football at the YMCA on his roster, and he had to make do with them. So there's no debate. In my opinion, debate more Tom Brady and Drew Brees over Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Because I think those guys are probably closer in comparison to, stats and their ability. They play kind of similar and whatnot. So,
or I'll do you one better, Mike. Compare Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers.
True, yes. Same conference.
That is the conversation.
That's the conversation. They both have one. Similar guys, gunslingers. Why don't we debate Brees and Rodgers? And that's no slight on Brees or Rodgers. Those are both great quarterbacks.
And their main storyline could be for them two, who's going to get one next? That's just what it boils down to. Both older guys, later in the career, who's going to get one next? That can be the debate, and that should be the storyline headlines. But Tom Brady's the GOAT, so he has to stay in conversation no matter what.
All right, back to the game to last night. Quick 30-second reactions. Question: is the Patriots' offense in the red zone a concern, especially when within 5 yards? Because last night, third quarter, 4 downs to get into the end zone, and they couldn't do it. Is the red zone offense a concern at all for you guys? Mike, we'll start with you. 30 seconds.
Absolutely. You don't have your leading, target in the red zone that you've had over the last several seasons with Rob Gronkowski. And I don't know if it's just because Rob Gronkowski is not playing, but the Patriots right now in the red zone is absolutely trash, and it needs to be rectified. I don't know if Rob Gronkowski will fix that. His whole season is a whole different conversation, but it's a problem right now that this team can't score in the red zone.
Marv?
I'm not as worried. I think Josh McDaniels' play calling the red zone there was some things to be questioned, and I think he will fix that going on further. And you didn't have Sony Michel, you didn't have Rob Gronkowski in there, so those are two big things that you need in the red zone. Those are your two major red zone targets: Sony Michel to punch it in, and Gronk, that big target there to either take two defenders away from you or throw it up to him for a lob. So I'm not as concerned.
Stop throwing the fade. Just stop doing it. Unless you have Rob Gronkowski there, please just stop. I'm tired of watching that play. I'm tired of watching that play not work. Although I bet you if you go back and look at the numbers, it works quite well. Second question, again, let's do this one, 15 seconds. Are you worried about Josh Gordon? Josh Gordon's hamstring. He did look like he looked down at his leg last night. And even on that big touchdown run, he did kind of slow up. Are you worried about Josh Gordon for any injury reasons? Marv, we'll start with you.
No, I'm not. This guy has been fighting. He's battling for every ball, and he looks like he dislocated his finger and popped it right back in. So I'm not too worried. He's ready.
Mike,
I'm not worried because I feel like the Patriots will do a solid job in managing him moving forward. If he needs to take some snaps off, if he needs to miss a couple of days of practice, whatever the case may be, I think the Patriots will do a solid job in managing him and making sure he's ready for the long run, which hopefully leads to a Super Bowl.
I am slightly concerned, only because we know this has been a nagging injury for him for a little while, and he doesn't look as explosive as, you know, we kind of expected. And yeah, he took a lot of time off with the suspensions and everything, but he doesn't look that quick to me. I am kind of concerned about the hamstring. Last question. Did the Patriots get lucky last night with the Aaron Jones fumble and with the big 15-yard penalty that gave the Patriots another first down? I know they didn't do anything on that drive, but did they get kind of lucky, mostly with that Aaron Jones fumble? Because in my opinion, that was about to sway the game. Tied game, ball comes right back to the Patriots. Marv, we'll start with you. Did they get lucky?
The ball went in their favor in New England. You expect that when you're at home. You know, some things just go your way, and it went the Patriots' way. But at the end of the day, when you look at the score, you look at the team, Brady went 6 for 6 in the fourth quarter, 104 yards.
And
Aaron Rodgers went 2 for 7, 15 yards. So that's the real story there.
Mike,
I do think they got lucky because you don't want to give Aaron Rodgers an opportunity like that to get the ball and do damage. We've seen what he's been able to do over the years throughout the course of this season. So, yeah, the Patriots got lucky that the ball bounced in their favor. They were able to capitalize on that opportunity with the fumble, and the rest is history. The Patriots got the win.
I do think they got a little lucky because the momentum was completely swinging back in the Packers' favor at that time, and the fumble was absolutely huge to change the game because that gave the momentum right back to the Patriots, and they never gave it back. Was it a great play by Lawrence Guy? Absolutely, it was a great play. It was a great football play, but the ball did bounce very well in the Patriots' favor, right by Devontae Adams, right into the hands of the Patriots. Patriots, Packers, Sunday Night Football. Patriots take it 31-17. Tom Brady still the GOAT on top.